enable me, maybe enable my camera here. I cannot start the video.
You can start your video now, Professor.
For some reason, it still says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. Anyway, I think we need to get started. So it's not a big deal. So let me get started. I think it's okay. Oh, okay. Now I can enable my camera here. Okay. Thank you so much. So good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, evening, depending on where you are if you're online. This is Jiansong Zhang. I'm the chair of this session, G1, Technology Management and Innovation. I'm an assistant professor at Purdue University School of Construction Management Technology. And just for the sake of time, let's go right into the presentations. And the first one is paper ID number 5. The title is The Use of Drones in the Construction Industry, Applications and Implementation. And the authors are Makram, Hatoum, and excuse me if my pronunciation is not the most accurate, and Hala, Nassereddine, if you are here.
This is virtual, it's a video, so I'm going to incorporate it.
Okay, great.
Hello, everyone. My name is Makram Hatoum, and today I'm going to be presenting our paper entitled The Use of Drones in the Construction Industry, Applications and Implementation. Throughout this video, I'm going to provide a brief background about this paper, the objective and the methodology, elaborate on the findings, and finally conclude. So to begin with, Construction 4.0, as we all know, has been slowly changing the construction industry, especially with the wave of technological advancements that it's presenting for construction organizations. Now, one technology gaining momentum is drones. For the past few years, the use of drones in the construction industry has been on the rise, and the global construction drone market size was valued at $4.8 billion in 2019. Now, in the United States of America, the use of drones is controlled by the Federal Aviation Administration's FAA, who created regulations for the commercial use of drones, and they published them in 2016. Since then, those regulations have boosted the use of drones in the construction industry in vertical and horizontal projects for both the public and the private sector. Also, drones were extremely helpful during the COVID-19 pandemic with the move to remote working for project stakeholders and helping, in creating safety regulations like social distancing and increasing the number of labor. Drones played a very important role in providing real-time data and allowing work to continue despite restrictions that were happening on the job sites. So following the rise of drones in the construction industry, numerous efforts have been undertaken to investigate the use of this technology and its impact on construction. So what we did in this paper is that we used the 5W2H method, which is the what, when, where, why, who, how, and how much. It's a technique that we employed to analyze and characterize in a very concise and reliable manner the most important information for both practitioners and researchers. So what we did is that we performed a literature review. So the 5W2H method was employed. It offers a holistic discussion of drones in the construction industry, a type of discussion that has still not yet been presented in any paper. And this is a screenshot of the 5W2H method, which I'm going to be elaborating a little bit on in this presentation. So starting with when do we use drones and where? Well, we use drones before construction, during construction, and after construction in an array or in a different number of project applications. For example, before construction, we can use drones for designing, bidding, and site planning. In the design stage, we can use drones to provide designers with a good understanding of the project environment, where designers can also benefit from the geometrically accurate 3D scans in order to integrate the modeling software, in order to integrate the 3D scans into their modeling software and account for landscape. In the bidding stage, for example, we can use drone images. They can provide contractors with detailed view of the site location and its surrounding, so to expose possible risks and hazards that should be accounted for while creating their bids. It can also provide geometrically accurate 3D maps for estimating surveying quantities. As for site planning, the high accuracy of the drone data allows for an accurate identification of site boundaries and presentation of the construction plot area, which helps in a lot of things such as assigning the entrance and exit points, crane locations, material storage areas, as well as finding the restricted zones and no-go zones like existing utilities or environmentally protected lands. Now, during the construction phase, drones can be used for safety and health purposes, where safety managers can fly drones over the construction site to collect real-time information on hazardous activities. Drones can also have microphones for those managers to contact people who are in danger. Drones can also be used for resource and logistics management, where they can provide real-time measurements of volume of materials on site, like soils and aggregates. Another use for drones is also to track the progress on construction sites. When maneuvering over the job site, they can collect data that allows us to create a timeline of information, as well as create 3D models. In addition to 3D models and progress reports, those footage that are gathered by drones, they can act as a permanent record of the project that can be referred to at any time in order to solve problems or resolve litigation. Now, other uses of drones as well include inspections, transporting of materials. There's success stories of transporting and installing bricks, foam bricks, steel elements, transporting tools for labor, finishing and painting walls, as well as inspecting existing structures before repairs or remodeling. Now, after construction, during this phase, drones, they can be used for different mapping, marketing, monitoring, and inspecting purposes. For example, drones can be used to map inaccessible and hazardous areas, especially with their ability to enter areas and reach certain heights that can be otherwise risky for people to reach. Moreover, the unique viewpoint of drones can also provide and allow project owners and real estate agents to create unique videos for their constructed projects, for marketing purposes, sales, promotions, especially for commercial projects. Also, drones can be used for post-disaster compensations and assessments, especially after fires, explosions, or natural disasters. Drones can be used to perform comprehensive damage assessment and identify damage evidence. So all of those use cases shows the benefits of drones. Benefits can be social, economic, and environmental. From a social perspective, they can definitely help with safety, enhance safety, provide safer alternative for our labor perspective. All of those use cases can make the job sites more productive, they can efficient communication, and as well reflect with significant time and cost savings. From an environmental perspective, drones do not rely on fossil fuels and are mostly electric motor driven, making them extremely environmental friendly. Now, despite these benefits, we also have a lot of challenges. From a technical standpoint, technological constraints such as the limits on the battery life can shorten the time of flights and operations. Other technical constraints are the effect of environmental factors like severe weather and conditions and rough terrains, which can hinder signals and connectivity. From a social standpoint, operating drones comes with the risk of collision with people, especially that we have a very labor-intensive industry. So even though the chances are low, they can still happen, which still creates a minimum risk when we're flying drones. Other social challenges also include security and privacy concerns, where using drones can facilitate snooping and capturing unauthorized images of people and private property. From a legal standpoint, different aviation rules may restrict the potential of drones. Other legal challenges come in the form of liabilities, where there's an absence of industry standards for risk allocation and mitigation, which may cause potential liabilities and who might be responsible in case there was a person injured or a property damaged in case of a drone malfunction. Now, how much represents the life cycle cost of drones? It starts with the procurement and acquisition phase, where we're buying the hardware, the software, and the insurance policies. Other cost factors includes the required software for navigation and flight path automation to control, monitor, communicate, and navigate the drones, as well as gather, store, and share data. Operation and management phase is associated with incurred costs to operate the drones at regular intervals of time, such as lifespan of propellers, batteries, software adaptability, insurance, and operating crew. As for the retirement and disposal phase, it is derived from the recuperated capital at the end of the drone's life cycle or lifespan. So how do we use drones? There's a lot of implementation practices and recommendations for the construction industry. To begin with, construction companies should understand the need for drones before starting the implementation process. Because as we saw in the applications section, drones have multiple purposes across the entire life cycle of the project. So it's very important for companies to communicate with project stakeholders and assign one or even more champions to define the areas of interests and what should happen in one flight operation. Since the construction industry is resistant to change, there should be a transition to implement drones in the construction processes. They should highlight, the champions should highlight the value of using drones, conduct webinars, share videos, and discuss return on investment. Another important practice is to review FAA regulations as well as state regulations, because they're always changing, and organizations need to keep up with those changes. And as discussed in the challenges section, the drone operations are associated with safety, with serious safety and security risks. So checklists should be available before, during, and after flight operation. Finally, support is out there. The global market is increasing, and it currently involves a growing number of hardware, software, pilot, training, insurance, and distribution partners. So help is out there and support is out there. Finally, to conclude, this paper recapped the use of drones in the construction industry using the 5W2H method. The findings are limited to the publications that were scanned, selected, and reviewed by the authors. The next step is that what we found from our research, that there is a need for more industry use cases to clearly quantify and provide details on the benefits of using drones, as well as investigate how drones integrate with each other, with other technologies in order to provide the best valuable experience for construction organizations. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me with my email. Also, please feel to connect with me on LinkedIn, ResearchGate, and Google Scholar using the following QR codes. Thank you for listening.
All right. I would like to thank the authors for this very interesting review of the use of drones for construction projects. Are there any questions for the authors? I don't know if are the authors online or no, maybe not. Okay, so if you have questions, you have seen the contact for the authors. Feel free to contact them.